Hey soldiers, got two questions for you. Number one, would you buy a Tesla smartphone? Number two, did you know that certain tax preparation software that you may be using is giving your confidential information to Facebook, aka Meta, and God knows who else?
With all due respect, what the fuck are you talking about?
What does one thing have to do with the other? Let's get right into it. Now, we all know that there's been the world, the left especially, has been in an absolute tizzy over the past few weeks because Elon Musk purchased Twitter. And he is doing the unthinkable over there. He's doing two things that are absolutely outrageous. Number one, he's turning it into a business that actually makes money, believe it or not. And the other thing he's doing is he is opening it up to be a platform that recognizes people's right to communicate freely, express themselves freely. Now, of course, you're not going to be on Twitter doing anything illegal or perpetuating the ideas around violence. Of course not. But guess what? Because you have a different political ideology now, or you may not be on board with every aspect of the message, you can still be on Twitter. You don't have to worry about having your account suspended or banned. And this is apparently revolutionary, and the left is just going crazy. In fact, Alyssa Milano, she came out recently, and I remember she was famous at one point, but I can't remember why. In any event, she came out and said that she's getting rid of her Tesla because she doesn't like, Elon Musk, basically. And look, perfectly acceptable. If that's what you want to do, you can do that, lady. Fine. But she said she was going to get rid of her Tesla and she was going to get a Volkswagen instead. And she made this big pronouncement about how Elon Musk is basically the devil. And then someone pointed out to her that Volkswagen was actually founded by, I don't know if I can say his name, but he was a failed house painter who rose to power in Germany and started a whole bunch of trouble back in the 1940s. And we had to actually, as a military, go over there and defeat him. So now you probably know who I'm talking about. But yeah, that's who founded Volkswagen. So she's switching out of her Tesla and going to Volkswagen, whatever. In any event, because he's doing this, you actually have Google, and because Google runs their software, runs the Android platform, and then you have Apple actually making some noise, doing some messaging around, you know what, if we don't like what goes on over at Twitter, we will take Twitter out of our app stores, and then you won't be able to use it. Kind of like what they did with Truth Social at one point, and some other platforms as well. They didn't like it, so they quashed it. In fact, Google and Apple are so damned powerful that they even switched up the way that they allow Facebook to, and we've talked about this, they allow Facebook to access data around users on the Android or the Google and Apple platforms. And it really has hurt Facebook tremendously because they're not able to run that targeted ad thing in the way that they had been doing it, that had brought them so much prosperity. Facebook, Meta, I think they're calling it Meta, is down 36% on the 5-year. All right, year to date, it's down 67%. So that move really hurt Meta / Facebook. This is why they are working with an entity, tax preparation software companies, to get your data. We'll go deeper into that in a minute. But this is also why Elon is absolutely correct to say, hey, you know what? I might need to go out here and buy a cell phone manufacturer or create my own. And believe it or not, there are some people out there that are saying, oh, well, he's doing too much. He's got the rocket company. He's got a car company. And now he's got Twitter. He's doing too much. I took a look at 3M's product base. 3M, you know, the company that makes the Post-it notes. They make a whole lot of stuff. They make a hell of a whole lot of stuff. I looked at their product mix. 3M makes over 6,000 different products. And I'd like to say this to the naysayers who say that Elon is just doing too much and he can't possibly add on a cell phone to the mix now. Well, you know, here's the thing. Elon Musk is not actually going to be the one manufacturing the phones. He's going to hire people to do that. And they're going to actually put them together. Believe it or not, Tim Cook over at Apple, he doesn't put the phones together. He's what you call the CEO. That was a message for people who believe that this is more than Elon can handle. For God's sakes, the man built a rocket that not only can land vertically so that you can use it again, but it also can land on a platform in the ocean. This is not even something you saw on a sci-fi flick years ago. Okay, this is totally revolutionary. So I think, I used to work at the phone company. Trust me, I know it's not rocket science, okay? I'm pretty confident that if he wanted to, he can build his own cell phone or smartphone. And I believe that with the brand recognition Tesla has, this would be something that folk will have an interest in. In fact, I'm not even on Twitter. But if Google and Apple make a move like that to get rid of Twitter just because they don't approve of what the social media platform is doing under Elon Musk's leadership, then I will gladly go out here and get a Tesla smartphone. I will, no hesitation. And let me say this to the executives at Samsung, because I know you guys watch this channel. You need to subscribe, but I do thank you for watching. Listen, if you're smart, all these other cell phone manufacturers out here, if Elon Musk comes out with his own cell phone, the hardware and the software, you need to license that software. Okay, just like you, Samsung, just like you license Google, you need to license Tesla's cell phone OS as well, if and when they come out with one. And what is Google going to do? Nothing, because they don't manufacture their own. Well, they do manufacture their own phone, but it's like not even, that phone's not even a blip on the radar. So what is it, the Google Pixel? Yeah. So it's not like they're going to be able to, demand any exclusivity, right? I would gladly go out here and purchase a Tesla cell phone, the hardware, and naturally the OS if it's on his phone, if Google and Apple made that move. Because these tech companies are way too powerful. They're out there acting like the robber barons from way back in the 1800s. They're literally doing that. It surprises me that that can be a suggestion that, and look, to be fair, I am not sure that executives at the company have actually said this. However, I have not, as of the 27th of November, 5:45 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, have not heard the executives come out and say, hey, we'd never do that. That's not what we're into. So I haven't heard them deny it. So this must be some type of whispering campaign to try to get some intel on whether or not the public would just sit back and take that. Tell you right now, I'm not going to. Samsung, I'll never buy another Galaxy in my life if you stand pat while Google does something like that. And I'm not into the Apple stuff anyway. I'm sure they make great products, but I'm not one of these guys who wants to get so wrapped up in one specific brand. Okay, I've got an Apple iPod Touch, love it. That's the only Apple product I have. I don't have the watch. I don't have the phone. I'm a Samsung guy, Galaxy guy. And I like to mix it up. You're not going to hold me captive because I'm so deeply embedded in your brand web. No, thank you. And I would encourage people to think about that when they go out here and adopt technological platforms. But on to what Facebook has done now that they can't get the user information from Facebook and Google. Tax prep software sent back personal consumer data to Meta and Google, report says. Popular tax prep software, including TaxAct, TaxSlayer, and H&R Block, sent sensitive financial information to Facebook parent company Meta, an investigation by the Markup found. The software sent information like names, email addresses, income information, refund amounts as well, to Meta via its Pixel, whatever the hell that is. Sending such information violates Meta's own policies, and a spokesperson said its system is designed to filter out potentially sensitive data. Yeah, right. Makes total sense that they would do this in the absence of the data that they were getting from Apple and Google. Google, now you can tell Google made that move as a anti-competitive move against Facebook. This really proves it because Google is they don't have a philosophical stance against collecting this sort of data. If they did, they wouldn't be getting it from these tax prep software applications. In a report published with The Verge on Tuesday, the outlet found Meta Pixel trackers in the software sent information like names, email addresses, income information, and refund amounts to Meta, violating Meta's own policies. The markup also found that TaxAct had transmitted similar financial information to Google via its analytics tool, though the data did not include names. Okay? As CNBC explained in 2018, Meta uses tiny pixels that publishers and businesses embed on their websites. The dots send a message back to Facebook when you visit that site, and it allows companies to target ads to people based on sites they previously visited. Now, I'm going to be honest with you. I don't have a problem with targeted advertising. And the reason I don't is because I've been able to find things that I want and that I need that I otherwise would have known nothing about. I do have a problem with them taking information that is supposed to be confidential. And tax information certainly is. The report said Facebook could use the information from the tax website to power its advertising algorithms, even if someone using the tax service doesn't have a Facebook account. It's yet another example of how Facebook's tools can be used to track people around the web, even if users don't know it. Some statements provided to the markup suggest it may have all been a mistake. A mistake like, maybe you got pregnant. Hey, I don't know how it happened. It was a mistake, right? She says. A spokesman for Ramsey Solutions, a financial advice and software company that uses a version of TaxSlayer, told the markup that it did, quote, not know and were never notified that personal tax information was being collected by Facebook from Pixel, unquote, and that the company informed TaxSlayer to deactivate the Pixel from Smart Tax. So what the hell's going on here? I mean, these companies always are talking about, hey, it was a giant mistake. It was a misunderstanding. We didn't know what was going on. Just like Sam Bankman-Fried, he didn't know what was going on down at his company, FTX. An H&R Block spokesman said the company takes protecting our clients' data and privacy very seriously, and we are taking steps to correct this issue going forward. Okay, fine, whatever. He got caught. People aren't with it. But again, these tech giants are so massive, so powerful, that this is why you got to spread yourself around in terms of who you're doing business with. Otherwise, you're giving them power. Now, is this going to hurt them from a financial standpoint? Probably not. Again, targeted advertising. And if you are an entrepreneur, this is something that you definitely want to adopt. Targeted advertising is your friend if you own a business. And like I said, it's your friend even if you don't own a business. Just in my personal life, I've, again, been able to get a lot of products and services that I would have known nothing about. But if you are a business owner, then targeted advertising is much more effective potentially than, say, a television ad. Because let's say I have a car dealership. All right, when I air that television ad, most of the people I'm talking to are not in the market for a vehicle. Most of the people that hear the ad or see the ad, they're not in the market. Only a few are. So when we look at a targeted advertising platform like Facebook or Google, and it allows us to, more specifically refine who the target client we're looking for, okay? Maybe there's some data out there that suggests that certain people have certain types of commutes. And if you have a commute that is, say, 20 miles, you probably are not using public transportation to make that commute. You probably will be someone who is in the market for a vehicle, or people who live in a certain area that is outside of the ubiquitousness of like a city's mass transit network. I know that here in Maryland, really, the only places that have really rock solid in terms of, getting you from A to B types of mass transportation networks are Baltimore City and the area of Maryland around Washington, D.C., because D.C. has a fantastic metro in terms of being able to get you around town. So I could look for people who are in the outlying counties, and they would be prime real estate in terms of me trying to get them to see my ads. And Facebook and Google are capable of doing that sort of thing. And if Elon makes Twitter capable of doing that, he's going to have a powerhouse. But this is what's going on, guys. So this is why Elon is saying, hey, look, these cats are too powerful. I need to spread myself out a little bit and take this in-house maybe if they... I would anticipate that Elon Musk is probably going to at least build some type of OS, smartphone OS. Okay, and if he can't get traction with that because companies want to balk at it, like take LG, for example, okay? It would seem like they would be prime candidates for saying, hey, we need throw us a lifeline. Hell, Apple and Samsung are eating our lunch. Or even, again, Samsung saying, look, there's nothing wrong with diversifying. Do we want all our eggs in the Google basket? Okay, it's working for now, but hell, it might not. We might say something one day that Google doesn't like, or, who knows? It's always good to diversify. All right, guys, watch this video. Bank depositors are fleeing from this bank because it's having trouble. And the investors, they're running away too. So what do you need to look for to make sure that the bank where you got some money in is not getting ready to go belly up? This is a gigantic bank. Okay, this is not your local, one-shot deal back in the woods somewhere. This is a real deal, big-time bank, and it's having some trouble. Watch the video, guys. I'll talk to you soon.